Welcome to North 40 News and New Scenes NoCo Now. We are live with episode 7, Keep NoCo Open. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Keep NoCo Open. Go to nocorecovers.com/Larimer Level Up to see the latest businesses certified to level up. Our broadcast is also brought to you by Mountain View Historic Hotel and Cafe in Centennial. That's Centennial, Wyoming. Enter now to win 2 nights lodging and 2 lift tickets at north40news.com/ski trip. Each week we discuss Northern Colorado's most important topics, bringing guests to our show and encouraging questions from our audience on our website and social media. So we'd love it if you would interact with us by sending us an email at nnn@north40news.com or ask us questions live on our social media pages on Facebook or YouTube. I'm Blaine Howerton, publisher of North 40 News and New Scene magazine, and with me today is Stephen Bonifazi, staff journalist. Stephen, who do we have today on our show?
Hey, Blaine. So today we have a handful of very special guests. First, we have Mindy McLuhan. Mindy is a University of Oklahoma graduate in economic development, working as the president of Lamar County Chamber of Commerce in Paris, Texas from 1997 to 2012, later moving to Loveland to start her position as president of the Loveland Chamber of Commerce. Mindy is also a member of WACE, ACCE, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Mountain View Rotary Club, Colorado Women of Influence, and serves on a multitude of boards, including Northern Colorado Legislative Alliance, Loveland Business Development Center, Leadership Northern Colorado, and many more. Our next guest is Melissa Feldbush. Melissa is a University of Wyoming College of Business graduate with a bachelor's degree in finance, serving as part of the finance committee for the Laramie Chamber Business Alliance from 2018 to 2020. Melissa started her career as an accounting intern at Mountain West Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company in 2009, working her way up to Vice President of Finance and Treasurer from 2019 to 2020. Today, Melissa works as Executive Director for the Berthoud Area Chamber of Commerce, starting in the height of the pandemic in March of 2020, where she works to help support and be a resource and advocate for all Berthoud businesses. Our next guest is Ann Hutchinson. Ann received her education from the University of Northern Colorado with a bachelor's in speech communications, marketing, and PR. Ann has many accomplishments throughout her career, including being one of the founding board members of the Tri-Media Film Festival from 2006 to 2011, a member of the Economic Advisory Commission since 2014, and serving as Executive Vice President of the Fort Collins Area Chamber of Commerce from 2003 to this month, when she recently became the President and CEO. And has also worked as a founding member of Women Give with United Way of Larimer County since 2005, providing opportunities for women within the community to help each other achieve economic self-sufficiency. Additionally, she is a member of the Workforce Development Board of Larimer County, working to make investments in workforce training and education so that businesses can compete and prosper since 2003. Our last but not least guest is Callie Cooper. Callie is an Iowa native, graduated with a degree in television production and marketing from Wartburg College in Waverly, Iowa. Callie began working as a graphic designer for Christian Fellowship Church in 2008 and became an administrative assistant at Century 21 in 2014. She later turned to education in 2015, working as a girls' high school swim coach for Mason City High School, while simultaneously working as a substitute teacher, working to guide students through planned activities and maintaining classroom management strategies. In 2017, Callie moved with her husband and her 2 sons to Wellington, Colorado, where she currently works 2 jobs as a freelance graphic designer, producing a multitude of graphic design solutions for businesses, as well as the executive director of the nonprofit Wellington, Colorado Main Streets program since 2019, encouraging community collaboration to enhance and promote downtown Wellington. Well, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, let's just jump right into it. Mindy, I'd like to start with you. I wanted to ask, what are some initiatives the Loveland Chamber has in place to aid local small businesses in adjusting to the pandemic?
Well, sure. So first of all, you see this dynamic panel of women. We've been working together. This entire time, actually, and even prior to COVID. So it was a no-brainer when the pandemic hit that we circled our wagons, and we've been on phone calls almost daily since it started. You mentioned earlier NoCoRecovers.com, which is a one-stop shop website that was designed so that we could push all the resources we were building to one spot. And that's representatives from the cities, the counties, workforce development, the chambers, our EDCs within the region. So it's been a great collaborative partnership. But aside from that, Loveland also has Loveland's Business Development Center, which is where we assist with small business development training and counseling. That's run out of our office. We did a lot of assistance for PPP and EIDL loans, driving that information out to our members, as well as all businesses. It wasn't just chamber members. And from there, when the numbers started to climb, which is when we pivoted to the 5-star program, which is what we call now the Level Up program. And that's been the most beneficial right now, is getting those businesses certified in Level Up so that they can operate in a higher level of capacity. So we're still waiting on those metrics. And I'm sure Ann will talk a little bit more about this, but we just got the latest report card from the state, and we're still failing in 2 areas. So we've got to hit those numbers for people to be safe enough for us to operate in a level yellow, which is 50% capacity, versus currently in orange when we're at 25% capacity. So some other things the city has done here in Loveland is we did a rental assistance program. We did some grants. The newest is for some propane and heaters for our outdoor restaurants. We also got matching funds from the city for Operation Love, which is sharing our hearts with healthcare while boosting our businesses. So we did a call to action to the public as a whole, asking them to send in letters of support and encouragement to our healthcare heroes, and purchase gift cards from our local businesses, so that we funnel those gift cards back through the foundation, so that the healthcare heroes all get a gift card to come back and dine or shop here in Loveland.
That's amazing.
That's great. It's so great to see our chambers being proactive. I think at some point it was a little bit of a reactive move, not because of the chambers had anything, in terms of being, not in control of a pandemic. But it's just great to see all the organizations working together in Northern Colorado together with Keep NoCo Open, and you all have been instrumental in that process, and that's really important to see our community coming together.
Well, thank you, Blaine. But we were actually building the plane as we were flying it, just having to pivot daily and be reactive to the circumstances. But I'm pretty proud of this group and what we've been able to accomplish.
Absolutely. Hey, Callie, can you tell me about some ways the Wellington Main Streets program has collaborated to further improve the downtown Wellington area?
Yeah. So, a Main Street program works a little bit different than a Chamber of Commerce, but our goal is to utilize our partnerships with leaders at the local, state, and national level to enhance not only our physical attributes of the downtown, but also promote that economic development piece. And so our organization really works on creating opportunities for our community to learn about the Wellington Main Street program, the history of Wellington, and experience the downtown and support that local business community. So we've really been lucky enough this year to form those really valuable connections with our business owners. And that connection piece has really developed trust and engagement from our business community that really benefits the entire town. One of the major advantages of being a Main Street program is that we have access to resources that other communities might not. So the Colorado Main Street program, which is our resource at the state level, has been integral in supporting our program through shared resources and funding. And we also have had access to grant funding from the National Main Street program as well. So there was a Revitalizing Main Street grant and a CDOT grant as well that we had access to. And not to mention just this really valuable and wonderful support network of ideas and creative ways of solving major issues Throughout the year, the Main Street program was putting out publications called The Main Thing. And these were drawing ideas from all of the various communities in Colorado and just putting them out there as a resource. They were how-to guides and promotional ideas, ways to address outdoor dining, ways to address closures and e-commerce. And so we were able to utilize a lot of those resources. A couple of the big things that we did is we worked very closely with the town of Wellington to provide a patio extension program, and that invested roughly $10,000 in patio furniture for Wellington businesses, and specifically to support those local restaurants, but it also went towards other businesses as well. And we also facilitated the distribution of another $360,000 in CARES Act grant funding that went directly in the hands of those businesses. So we are very lucky that we just have this plethora of resources at our disposal. And we just really have been able to use a lot of those ideas and implement them in Wellington.
Absolutely. And, I have to say another thing that I remember in April, May, it's all kind of a fog exactly when it was, but you all worked closely with the Wellington Area Chamber, which you always do, and put signs out. You were giving signs to businesses to encourage people to come in and eat. And I know Fort Collins did that, and I know the chambers kind of all over the region did that. And it was just, again, really cool to see that volunteer effort, in so many different cases, people just getting out there, getting their hands dirty and just doing whatever they can to help these businesses stay awake and alive. So good job to all of you. My next question is on to Fort Collins. So we jumped from Loveland to Wellington. Now we're going to go back to Fort Collins, a little bit all over northern Colorado here. And what has it been like to take on your new role as president and CEO during the pandemic?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Blaine. It's actually been really exciting. I'm so fortunate that I've been here at the Fort Collins Chamber for almost 18 years. And David May, our former CEO, had set such a wonderful foundation for all of us as staff, but especially myself as EVP, to be programming and building relationships right alongside him. So moving into the big chair at the first of the year was a pretty natural step. As well, my work as EVP and now as CEO has been solidly in this pandemic recovery space. So I was taking a lot of those meetings, helping to drive those conversations, really being the voice for the Fort Collins Area Chamber at the table when it came to how do we support our businesses? How do we help them? Where can we best serve our larger community as we try to deal with this issue? So actually the jump wasn't too terrible, and I'm excited about where we can go once we get through to the other side of this.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you had a smooth transition. That can be hard for anybody, especially, Chamber of Commerce.
Probably as smooth as possible anyway, right?
Right. Absolutely. Well, Melissa, let's focus on you now. Can you tell me a little bit more about Berthoud Bucks and the Cash Dash and their success this far?
Yes, absolutely. So here in Berthoud, being a smaller community, we definitely rely heavily on what the Loveland and Fort Collins Chamber are doing to help provide those major assistance. So where we decided we could best serve our businesses by stepping in and providing a little bit of an incentive program to encourage our community to continue to shop and support local. So we created Berthoud Bucks, and Berthoud Bucks it's not a unique concept. It's essentially, we are incentivizing our community to go and continue to patronize our local businesses. And I happen to have one here. They look just like a little check. They're right now for $25. You come in and you get them and you go shop local. The town of Berthoud has contributed a tremendous amount of funds to continue to support this. So we're really happy to see that collaboration. And then we did specific cash dashes, which it's all about incentive. And we would encourage people to, first 20 people to come to a business, get money to go shopping with. And who doesn't love free money, right?
Yeah.
So it's been really great because we have a new community. We are growing. And so there's a lot of new community members who have moved here during this pandemic that really haven't had a chance to get out and about and see what is here. So when we give out our birthday box, it gives them an opportunity to see what all businesses are here. And it provides them an incentive to say, hey, I got $25. I'm going to go check out this store that I may not have wandered through in the past. So successful in helping support our businesses through this time.
Yeah, and I, if memory serves, Melissa, you kind of took on an important role too in the middle of mayhem, right? was that just before or just after the pandemic? I can't remember. Again, it's all a fog.
I started, and then we went into lockdown 3 days later. So
yes, I knew it was right around that time. Well, Mindy, I'm not sure about you, but in my next question, maybe if you want to enlighten us, if you were in the middle of the pandemic, having to go through changes. But my main question, actually, for you is what would you recommend to people who want to support local businesses but are unsure how? And obviously, that's in Loveland. That's in all of Northern Colorado as well.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just say trial by fire makes you a better leader. So Melissa, hang in there. You're going to do great. When I got here in 2012, immediately following, we had the flood of 2013. So talk about drinking from a fire hydrant hose. I know all about that. But what I would like to reiterate to people is, one, it's about helping to build consumer confidence and pushing support and shopping locally. Investing into your community, practice social distancing, because as I mentioned earlier on the Level Up plan, we've got to get our numbers down and be consistent in that before we can move up into a level yellow or operate at 50% capacity. And remember that every day that these businesses are having to stay in the orange level or below, it's almost bankrupting them. So it's important for our economy for us to keep those numbers down and get our businesses back open. So practice social distancing, wear your mask, be patient and be kind. We're all in this together. It just looks a little different for some of us. So I think that holds true in every community as long as you continue to support local. 75% of all of our members are made up of small business, and that's the mom and pops, and that's really the lifeblood of your community. When you're driving money to those small businesses, those dollars circulate 7 times more into the community than going to a big box store. Not that big box stores aren't great, but right now we need to support our small businesses.
Absolutely. So get out there and shop local. So Callie, I want to ask you, can you tell me a little bit more about the Wellington Chamber and Wellington Main Streets program COVID-19 Task Force and some of the support that it offers and resources to Wellington businesses?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, when COVID hit, unfortunately, the town of Wellington, we had an interim town administrator. We had lost our economic development director, and the Wellington Chamber had, just like in Berthoud, had a new administrator quite literally just a week before all of the shutdowns happened. So, our program really took on the responsibility of offering that support to local businesses through the spring, primarily just being a hub for information. And so during that time, at the end of March, our program came together with the Wellington Chamber of Commerce board to form a COVID-19 task force. And the goal was to put our heads together and come up with some innovative ways to encourage community support for our business community. One of the first things we did, like Stephen said earlier, was we purchased these takeout and curbside pickup signs, these bright orange signs, and these yellow "Yes, we're open" signs. And these were for any business who wanted them. And since then, actually, we've replaced those with these really cool springboard signs to designate pickup parking. We also hosted a bunch of promotional events like a Wellington Strong bingo card. And kind of like what you were asking, Mindy, this was this bingo card that had all of these ways that you can support local business. So, you can leave reviews for them online, ordering takeout, shopping online, purchasing gift cards. These were all these really early initiatives to keep the businesses viable while they were not operating at their full capacity. We also did a show us your mask challenge, and that one was really fun. That was our way of encouraging the public and putting a positive spin on having to wear masks on a regular basis. And so we encouraged the public to take a photo of themselves wearing a mask in a business, tag the business, and then it entered them into a chance to win daily gift card prizes. And so that was something that we did early on. We also did a window decorating contest that was super cool and is still being featured in a lot of our promotional initiatives. Meridian Trust in town did a huge butterfly that you could stand in front of, and it said Wellington Strong across. And it was really about getting this community engagement and about showing the public how important they were. And it's funny, actually, just a couple days ago, we had our annual budget report for Wellington, and one of the numbers that really stood out to me was 53% of our general budget comes from tax revenue from small businesses. And that is just such a huge number. And so it's so important for the community to be encouraged to shop local and to make that a priority. One of the biggest things too that we did as a task force is we partnered with Serve 6.8 and some of our faith-based community, and we did a fundraiser that raised $15,000 to go back directly into the hands of our businesses. So wow. That partnership was incredibly valuable for us.
It's phenomenal to see the great minds coming together and coming up with unique ways to solve a problem that we have never been faced with as a community. So thank you to all of you for what you're doing. It's so important. My next question is for you, Ann, and I know you've got a 4:00 appointment, so I'm going to try to make this quick and feel free to hop off if you need to get going. But and what are some of the initiatives the Fort Collins Chamber is currently working on to uplift and support businesses throughout Fort Collins? And are they focused on small businesses or all businesses within the Fort Collins area?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what I think you've heard from all of us on the call today, and that is that this has been a team sport. None of us are doing things alone. We are collaborating with others. We're making the most of every single relationship we have in order to support and encourage business success through this crazy time. So the Fort Collins Chamber has had a great spot at the table where we've been managing the Keep NoCo Open program. So again, this is a collaboration. So our friends at the City of Fort Collins actually have created images and messages that we've been able to then push out through relationships and media sources we already have. And then the county came alongside with CARES monies that then allowed us to push that message even further. And we've been honored and have enjoyed being able to share those messages with the community. As Mindy so well pointed out, we've got to keep our numbers down. If we can keep our numbers down, the business can reopen. If we can keep our numbers down, schools can reopen. If we can keep the numbers down, our hospitals can go back to doing the things that we need them to do. So we're pushing hard on Keep NoCo Open, a key message. We're hoping that it does help to drive behavior. And again, it's been our great pleasure to be the driver on that message push throughout Northern Colorado. Additionally, then, we're in a lot of the same space that everybody here on the call has been in, as far as promoting local, shop local, be local, do the right things, do the kind things. And we continue to provide resources on a daily basis to our members, but as well to the larger community. We made a very specific pivot during pandemic to say, members are important to us, but actually the larger business community is equally important. So we've really had a very open door policy relative to access to any of our resources for the larger community as well as our members.
Well, thank you for that collaboration, and it's important, like you said, to think of not only the members but the business community as a whole, and realize how vital they are to everybody. So, thank you so much, Melissa. I want to ask you, what are some of the unique things you have seen consumers in Berthoud doing to patronize local businesses?
So being a smaller community, our businesses have always relied heavily on our local support. And as we kind of went around trying to promote shopping local, we really found out we are a really tight-knit community here, and we care about each other. And so our businesses have some pretty strong local support that's never going to go away. We're here to support our businesses even more now than ever. And we do as much as we can to let our new community members know about all the great things we have to offer. And that kind of also spurred us. We actually started Experience Berthoud podcast. And this is where we interview local business owners, because every business owner has a story to tell. And we're here to help them tell it, because that helps build that relationship and connection. So when you go to support that local business, you know who you're supporting and why. And it just overall helps us grow as a community and continue to support each other. So I'm super proud of our community, and they've gone above and beyond to continue to support all of our local businesses just like they were before.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, this has been an amazing time with all of you. Thank you again for your time today. Roughly 26 minutes in, almost 27 minutes, and every minute was informative and just enlightening. More than anything, I'm just really encouraged to see the chambers in the different areas of the region, and there are more. It's not just this group here who have teamed up to really keep Northern Colorado open, and that marketing message is awesome. We're happy to be a part of that, and spread the positive information and some of the negative if we have to, just to keep people aware. So I'm going to wrap things up, unless raise your hand if you all have one more thing to pitch in. Yeah, Mindy. Hold on.
I'll let Ann go first, since she's got a meeting. She's got to jump off. So Ann, go ahead.
Okay, so Mindy's just a little bit garbled. She was just tossing it to Ann first. Go ahead, Ann.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that the four of us have spent a lot of time together, but there are tons of other economic developers and business support organizations that have been at the table, that are doing everything they can to save this economy in Northern Colorado. So we'd love for your listeners to know that we're here to fight for you. We're here to push the edge for you, and we're not there alone. There are tons of people that are working hard to uplift this business community every single day as we fight our way through this pandemic.
Mindy, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay, or am I still?
It's still a little bit garbled, Mindy.
Ann said everything I needed to say.
Okay, so she's saying Ann said everything that she needed to say. And I saw Callie raising your hand. Callie, go ahead.
I know this is a publication for you guys. And so I just wanted to say a huge thank you to North 40 News for everything that you guys have done for us. Most recently, our downtown business and restaurant menu distribution. We were able to put those in all of the North 40 newspapers in our area. And it was huge. That was huge for our area. And we're just so grateful for that partnership. And to reiterate Ann's comments, we are definitely here for the businesses, and we will continue to work really, really hard to make sure that we give all of ourselves and all of our communities to support those local businesses, just as they have supported our organizations.
Absolutely, Callie. And a little funny tidbit about those menus is, we didn't bill anything. We just wanted to make sure that that information got out, and we deliver thousands of copies every single week, and we were kind of like all of a sudden, how are we going to do this? Well, we need to. I know that a bunch of people in the community in Wellington actually came together and actually helped us physically insert those menus in every single edition in Wellington, and then
and like paperboy tossing them too. Like,
it helped us
reliving the younger days.
It was like, retro throwback, like sometimes I take my sons out to deliver and people smile, because I was a 12-year-old on the bike throwing a newspaper, but anyway, yes, we're happy as an organization to help, however possible. We are a business, so, we do whatever we can to keep alive and survive, but we also put those perks out there, to any of the partnering businesses. Our partnering businesses could not be, I don't think, there were a very small handful of restaurants in there that actually do advertising, and I didn't care. I just wanted them to go out. So anyway, thanks for mentioning that. Anyone else? But I'm going to wrap it up real fast here. Okay, I see no more hands. Just on the business part, we do a pitch for subscriptions at the end of every one of our broadcasts, and it's important. North 40 News is a newspaper and website that is driven by our readers, and we're also driven by advertising, both. And so we ask our readers to pitch in as little or as much as you can afford. Our news, yes, is free, and you can pick it up every single week at our locations. You can rely that it will be there, but we ask people that to remember that when you pick that up, that costs us $1. And so if you can, pitch in and help us through a subscription, or, some people will subscribe for a year and then, send us extra and say, it's yours, donate. I got a $100 bill the other day, just in the mail. I'm like, hey, people still send cash? What is this? We really do appreciate people, helping us wherever they can through a subscription. And you can do that on our website at north40news.com/subscribe, or reach out to any of us at North 40 News, and we'll get you taken care of. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you, Ann, for staying a little bit late for us. And thank you to all of you for your time today. And keep up the great work, and let us know how we can help.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.